Oops. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another live stream. I realized I didn't change the thumbnail from last week, so it's the same thumbnail. I meant to change them out. I feel you though, Jarhead. My Friday's tomorrow, so we're working through it, you know? Gotta hit that grind. The grind set is the mindset. But how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing today? We have some amazing Instagram posts, some great Reddit posts, and a video to watch. A new video from Lust that just dropped. That's Law Understood Simply. That includes a friend of the channel, Alex the Fiction. About to call him Alex Fiction. That's his legal name. Alexander Fiction. But yes. So we're going to check out that as well. But we have some other things to get to first, as always. W grind. That's right. That is correct. My shirt look all stretched out. Maybe it is. But let's get into it, shall we? Let's go. Exactly. You understand. But the Lil Pete, the LPU, the Lil Pete Universe, is expanding. I think there's something on the horizon. We need to keep an eye out.
Who the hell is this guy, man? Kind of looks like me.
I'm Lil Pete. What's going on?
Lil Pete!
I don't give a fuck!
That's right, we don't give a fuck!
I don't give a fuck! I take Cialis every day!
Yeah, he did!
I do!
Yo, anything to make your dick hard is good for you. My doctor told me that shit.
Lil Pete's got it. He knows what's up. And bringing littler Pete is great. It's a great concept, and I think that he needs to come out for every show. It's like a mini-me kind of scenario with he's Dr. Evil.
Oh my god!
You like that comic? Yeah, I've seen him before. I forget what his name is. He didn't add him or anything here.
My new boyfriend
Oh, yeah.
and my ex-boyfriend are on stage competing for my heart!
Yeah! I will. What did you say to her? You said you were gonna
You
lick her
can
pussy?
make me the happiest motherfucker on the whole planet.
No,
you know?
no,
I literally just clicked notify me and immediately got a notification you're live. That's how it's done. That was just proof that it works. Synchronicities.
Make me the happiest motherfucker on the
Man,
whole
fuck
planet.
this guy.
Man, what the fuck? I don't give a fuck!
Give a fuck!
All right, hey, rock, paper, scissors, right?
Yeah,
All right,
right.
we'll do it that way.
Everyone together. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Fuck! Who the hell is this guy, man? Kind of looks like me.
I'm Lil Pete. What's going
Lil
on?
Pete!
I
my
don't give a
ex-boyfriend!
fuck!
I like that Dr. Thomas Connor commented and said, I'm his doctor. Good to hear, doctor. What kind of videos does he have? This is it. Ask a testosteronologist.
Why is my libido still low even on testosterone? I'm a 42-year-old man. I've been on testosterone for about 6 months. Okay, sir. Is it too much testosterone? Too little? What exactly are you on? Is it oral testosterone? Is it transdermal? Is it intermuscular testosterone, subcutaneous? It's not just that estrogen, but all these things are very relevant. If you give too much testosterone, it's so notoriously known that your libido is actually shut down.
Ask a testosteronologist. Dr. Thomas Connor. Thomas O'Connor. Sorry, I read it wrong. Thomas O'Connor. He is either Little Pete or Littler Pete's doctor, I guess. Let me give that a like. It's only got 13 likes at the moment. What exactly are you on? I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny too, because it's like, he's not really being helpful at all. He's kind of just going like, I don't know, man. Talk to your doctor. These aren't the kind of questions you should be asking me. Those are for your primary care physician. This was crazy, and it sounds so insane until you see the evidence. So let's hear his explanation. This right here, I got so black, doesn't really make much sense. Let's hear him out.
I got so black after taking melanotan that I was called a minority. So back in the day, I was taking about 1 milligram a night. It was working extremely well. I remember being on the train and someone turned to me and they said, as a minority, how do you feel about this whole Black Lives Matters thing going on? I didn't know how to respond other than saying, I'm white. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get as dark as I did. It was complete accident. You just like see yourself getting tanner and you're just kind of like, oh, cool, progress. If you go through 2 vials in 20 days, you will be damn near black by the end of it. If you check out Intense Muscle, he is living proof of how well it will work because that is a white man.
No way. Yeah, that is crazy. But here's the example of him. I don't think there's much left for the rest of this video.
I got
here is how he looked. And he said it's melanotan or melanotan. I'm just trying to think. It's melanin is what he's saying. But basically it's a peptide that increases your melanin content, I guess. And it's the whole purpose of it, for those who don't know, in bodybuilding, they like to appear darker. That's why a lot of them use like the different tanning methods and stuff, because when you're darker, it shows you look more cut. It shows the definition in your muscles more. But honestly, if I saw this, I would think that this is I would think that this is a triracial man. Not just biracial. You're like, there's something else in here. I don't know what's going on. It's like Bruno Mars.
Do use 3 cc's a day right now. I do.
This video was crazy too. I saw this and I was like, oh, I was just using this. I wanted to see the example of how dark he had gotten. And I could definitely see somebody thinking that this person is biracial or something, but also it's a weird question to ask anyways. So how do you feel about this whole Black Lives Matters thing? Also kind of a weird response. I don't know. I'm white. I guess it's because they prefaced it with as a minority. Excuse me. So as a minority, honestly, maybe that person was lucky that he wasn't actually a minority, because I feel like that question might get you punched. What are you talking about right now? But yeah, a lot of these questions, because this is such an old video, so a lot of these comments are people just responding to this post that came out 3 days ago. So people 9 hours ago, 11 hours ago, he was not lying. He looks black to me. There's something there for sure. He's describing the 80s hit Soul Man. That's... Oh, yeah. You hit something in my brain where I was like, I know what that is. There is an era of me just knowing about weird niche movies. This is fucking crazy. This is fucking insane. He doesn't look black. He looks Indian. That's what it did. That's crazy. Bonjour, Captain. Bonjour, everyone. Hope y'all having a groovy Monday. You know it. Muscle definition pops. The reverse Michael Jackson. You're right. You know, that brings up a good question. So the claim is that Michael Jackson had vitiligo, and so he bleached his skin to try and like hide the blotches or whatever, the spots. Blotches sounds disrespectful, but I think that is what you'd say. But he could have just, instead of bleaching, taken this like melanin or whatever. There you go. Little thought process. It is funny though, like that's like the claim is that he had vitiligo. I don't know if there's medical records or something that you could find of that, but he would have just been a vitiligo icon. Would that have changed anybody's like opinions on him? I feel like it's definitely another example of just like issues internalized from youth or something. But let me just move on to the shirtless man we're looking at, about to hit a crazy backflip for all of us. So this one has 14K likes. Another post had 30K likes. He's been doing these for a while, trying to learn how to do the perfect backflip. Our puppy has entered the land shark phase and teething at our ankles. And our ankles have never been more terrified. Oh, he's teething. Or she's teething. They're teething. Puppy dog. But can your puppy dog do this? I forgot there's music playing. It's honestly impressive how stiff he goes. Honestly, he's getting pretty close. He's going to do a gainer before he learns how to do a backflip. It's like these. I just realized it right now. He literally looks like one of those like little... God, stop, Temu. I was just trying to click an image and it just brought me to the Temu website. He's doing one of these. You guys remember these? The little flip frogs that you'd get? He's literally pulling one of those. He moves like Quap. He does move like Quap, you're right. It's when you spam all the buttons trying to move forward, but then it just flings you back. What are you supposed to do then? It's impressive nonetheless. He's got at least a pad here, a bunch of dry sticks. And you know, practice will get you somewhere, so keep at it, and one day you can backflip. This was from 2 days ago. These were pinned, right? Oh no, these aren't pinned. Yeah, see, this one's from 12 weeks ago. It has 46,000 likes. So he's definitely made a bit of progress. Well, to be fair, this is off of something. In 12 weeks, this is the progress he's made. Okay. Oh, he might have just messed up his wrist. No more training for a while now. I think I've shown Chicago Sanitation on Instagram before. They post these crazy... I don't think it's actually has anything to do with Chicago Sanitation. That's just my personal belief based on the fact that it says City of Chicago in... Or no, it does say incorporated now. They changed it. It was all messed up before. They fixed it. But yes, it was just an AI image that said City of Chicago incorporated 4th March 1837, but the incorporated said like incorporated or something like that. The Department of Streets and Sanitation, DSS, is one of the largest non-emergency departments in the team, with a team of over 2,000 employees who provide. What do they provide? Who knows? Is this all a link? Just the more. But they posted this video. As summer heats up, so do the drug markets. If you're attending a party this summer, refuse all offers of dangerous drugs. Law enforcers are coming across gigantic stashes of ecstasy in places where it was rarely seen. E comes as a tablet or capsules. And since December, Ohio authorities have seized 25,000 pills in Columbus and 200 more in rural Lorain County. In January, some 30 people were arrested in New Orleans for distributing the drug. 2 weeks ago, in Providence, Rhode Island, a 7-month investigation into ecstasy dealing ended with the arrest of 23. In bigger cities, the trade has exploded. In December, the U.S. Customs Service discovered 100 pounds. Okay, yeah, it goes on for a while, but basically, don't do drugs, kids. And this is not what you're supposed to do. Don't do this. Is that Johnny Bravo on the right? I think that's kind of what they were going for.
Nice cookout, Pledge. Try this club drug called E, or I'll tell Sandy your penis is soft.
No way! I'm hard as a rock right now. All right, I'll try the drug.
Tonight's the night we party, then we go.
Chicago fire! Fire in the house! Help that kid!
No! Why did I take this drug?
Hey, nice cook.
Message from Chicago Sanitation. Let's see their newest video.
Time for some me time.
Okay, never mind. Let's just move on from that. I'm gonna just continue. Nothing to see there. Clavicular. I just got Chicago Sanitation. What are you doing? But Clavicular got neurotypical mogged by a literal Chad and had to ask him for advice. I'm not going to read all of this. Clavicular, whose real name is Brayden Peters. These are definitely just written to make you, to try and like let the video loop as long as possible, trying to up their view count. I don't know how much this works. Do people actually read these? But here's what happened.
This guy's giga NT max. Like he's like being charismatic and shit. Like dude, like
he definitely pinned some trend today.
Bro, yeah. How do you get this neurotypical? Like I saw you like.
He's so genuinely confused. He's like, what? What did you just ask me?
Having a full-on conversation with
Clavicular. You're right.
These girls, and it didn't seem that awkward. What? I know, but like, how do you become that?
Ignore fun poll forever. I don't know if I have one prepared. The problem that I had was I forgot to highlight all of these. I've been meaning to highlight them so I don't redo the same ones. We did this one about sauces. Okay. Here's the fun poll for today. Sorry. We'll learn how to neurotypical max in just a second. Apocalypse. One snack food survives. Which do you protect? So it is, your options are chips/crisps, chocolate, and this is going to just be the totality of these items. Popcorn, there are some popcorn lovers out there, or crackers and cheese. Crackers and cheese. Now, theoretically, you could make all of this stuff yourself, but these are just things that you'll be able to find during the apocalypse. So, apocalypse. One snack food survives. Chips/crisps, chocolate, popcorn, or crackers and cheese. And again, these are the totality of those different categories. So all types of chips, all types of chocolates, all different flavors of popcorns, and then like the slight variations of crackers and cheese that there are. But honestly, that's the only one that's going to give you some real protein, so you could keep that one for rations. But we're going to start that poll now. But now, yes, we need to learn how to neurotypical mog, how to neurotypical max.
See. Oh fuck. How old are you?
25.
Okay. So I got some time. I got some time to learn the game.
He's got some time to learn. It is just funny that, for me, the thing that's always like been very clear is that Clavicular is self-aware, but not in like a good way. You know what I mean? It's like he's toxically self-aware. He's only self-aware so much so at like, he's only self-aware to the detriment of himself. Because he's like, why is everybody so much better than me? But then doesn't understand like the actual like issues with the validation that he's seeking and like the types of success that he's like thinking that will, like, that achieving will make him happy or whatever. You know what's funny is it almost reminds me of I learned recently that David Henry, the guy who played Justin on Wizards of Waverly Place, for those who know what that is, the brother, the older brother on that show, is now like a devout Catholic. And he, I saw like an advertisement, basically. It was like an ad that I got because I was watching something about Wizards of Waverly Place. And then like a couple videos later, I got an ad where it was him talking about like Catholicism and being like, you know, I started learning about all the different religions and then I became a Catholic. Interesting. But I just think it's funny because it's like this similar I gained all this level of success, but I asked my mom, I was like, why am I still not happy? I became this famous actor, I became wealthy, I had a nice car, I was doing things, I was talking to girls, yada yada. No, and it just wasn't making me truly happy. And I feel like Clavicular is starting to see that. He's like, I've been mogging for so long, I mog everybody. Walking down the street, there's not a single person that mogs me. Why am I unhappy? It's just on an actual lower level. I don't know, the Peter Thiel thing though, I guess he might be a lot wealthier than he might let on. Imagine he's Peter Thiel's puppet for free. Got scammed. Wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Jumping for joy. But I'm jumping for joy for this music. This is LateNightLuke. LateNightLuke has been dropping some bangers. He's got this one called Toontown. And he's got another one called I Could. So let's hear LateNightLuke.
Going into Toontown, no, I'll leave with something. Records on my wall, got my turntable bumping. Crate digging through the singles and LPs, and I'm finding every hidden gem. I gotta buy these. Going into Toontown, no, I'll leave with something. Records on my wall, got my turntable bumping. Crate digging through the singles and LPs, and I'm finding every hidden gem. I gotta buy these.
We gotta take it back to that old school hip hop. Old school hip hop where you're just talking about your day. Just doing something. I went to the record store. And then I went home. Now I'm listening to my records. They're pretty good. That's probably what this whole song is. But going to Toontown. And just like Toontown, we have I Could by LateNightLuke, which is about eating. Everybody's got to eat so everybody can relate to this sick track.
Could eat, I could eat, I could eat, I could eat, I would.
Looks like the guy who took over creator class. She does kind of look like Aaron Hansen. I feel like I'm spelling his name wrong. Yes, I am. It's Ego Raptor. I could eat, I could eat, I could eat, I could eat.
Yay, I got a subscriber.
When we get in a Toontown, I was thinking I was going to read it. When can we get a Toontown stream? We can duo. Now that would be killer. I know they actually did make a, isn't there like Toontown rewritten? Honestly, I'd be so down for that. Yes, there is. Toontown rewritten. Go in there, do a challenge. How fast can I get banned? Just dropping slurs immediately. They're like, no, 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 that won't do it. This is rewritten. You can do whatever you want here. I have seen a few of those. Try and get banned without using slurs. It's a challenge. Sometimes. But, yes. Sorry, let's get back to LateNightLuke, Aaron Hansen. The Aaron Hansen. I still play it. Is it as good as I remember? Because honestly, I think I remember it not being that good because I was a child and kind of dumb and didn't know how to play video games.
I could eat, it's good. I'll be going downtown just so I can chow down.
See, I was keeping you all from that great little bit there. You know, I was keeping it paused. I was holding out on the true peak of this song. I Korean. It does sound like he's saying I Korean. You're not, this moist likely isn't wrong.
I could eat, I could eat, I could eat, I could eat, I would, I could eat, it's good. I'll be going downtown just so I can chow down. I could eat.
I like chips. Could you eat? Could you eat? I be going downtown just so I can chow down. Thanks, Aaron Hansen. Thanks, Late Night Aaron. Oh, and then we have MamaJoe. What is this? MamaJoeVramaJoe. So here's MamaJoeVramaJoe. You know, as you can see, I'm getting into it.
Gotti trucks. You could never predict what God will do. Gotti trucks. Gotti trucks. You could never predict what God will do. Gotti trucks.
I just realized I hadn't said his name out loud. Is that all they have? This is a cult? What's going on? Oh. Founders of Church of Joe. 754 followers. This is brand new. I'm really ahead on this one.
This is your message from the Great Purple.
That's me.
Microwave your sponge. You're thinking too much. This is your
The little sploinking in the background.
I smoked a little too much in the car. Now I got too toasty Pelosi. I'm not in the couch, bro.
That's what I was wondering. The Church of Joe, the Church of Juggajoe? Church of Joe, Juggajoe's cousin.
Die if I don't get the Wi-Fi. Who's got the Wi-Fi? Definitely die if I don't get the Wi-Fi.
Somebody get this man the Wi-Fi password. I gotta be honest, guys. I think God Eats Trucks is probably your best work yet.
The early MamaJoeVramaJoe demos. They're pretty bad. The first 50-ish songs that we put out there have some questionable vocal takes. And
you killed the illusion here, man. Can't rock with it. You gotta keep that illusion up.
Gotti trucks. You could never predict what God will do. Gotti trucks.
It does sound like God eats drugs. Ooh. Now here's a little new massage technique. You might not have seen this before, but you're seeing it now. So remember, you can go get this done at any time for probably a low amount. You could probably do it at home if you have somebody to help you. But here we go. Like, they're clearly just messing around, but I was honestly impressed that he was even able to do that. This guy's probably so confused, because imagine you're just laying there and you're like, what just happened? I felt your hands on my back. What did you just do? Having a little fun. Just having a little fun with your friends, you know. But you know it's not a fun time with your friends? A werewolf sighting. Here, let me put on some emotional music while I read this. It's gonna take me a second. We're here. Come on. Maybe this one. Try this one. We just gotta go real quiet. There we go. It's still kind of loud, but it works. It's fine. So this is a werewolf sighting from The Truth Is Here. My werewolf sighting. Me. Fam. Pick. This is something that happened to my husband and I a good 9 years ago. We had gone to watch a friend's band play and were heading home from downtown Dallas. I don't live in the Metroplex any longer, so not personal info. It was around 1 a.m., but we still had plans before I was expected home. Okay, so these are quote-unquote plans. We don't know what they are. They're being a little bit elusive here. still dating at the time. So we headed to his apartment in one of the South Dallas suburbs. This is a pretty well-populated suburb, but by the time we got close to his apartment, the roads were pretty much empty. We exited the highway and turned onto the street that led to his apartment. But as soon as we passed the traffic light under the highway, we both saw it, plain as day, stone sober and wide awake. We both saw a mother effing werewolf. The music timed out at the perfect spot, but I need to... There we go, perfect. We both saw a mother fucking werewolf type creature exit the neighborhood street and calmly run in about 4 steps across the 4-lane road. It was about 75 yards in front of us. But it wasn't exactly the way I imagine a werewolf. It was completely canine. No human features at all, except for the fact that it was on 2 legs. The legs were massive, and the thing was about 7 feet tall, but the arms reminded me of a T-Rex arms. They were small and still hung like dog legs. They seemed very useless. If the thing were trying to attack something. The head was also odd. Besides being a typical dog color, grayish black, most dog color type, the eyes were bright glowing yellow. Even when there weren't headlights shining directly in them. It didn't look like the glow an animal gets from lights in their eyes anyway. But the thing that stood out to me the most was that the eyes were biocular, like a fish. I saw the eyes clearly even though he was completely profiled to us. Here is a pic I drew. I couldn't quite get it right. It was a little more menacing in the head and face than I could convey, but I couldn't figure out how to draw it without making it look over the top and cartoonish. Here is that image. Oh my god. It's a werewolf. Yo, why that werewolf thick though? Yo. Oh my god. This doesn't look menacing at all. Just kind of saunters off. I'm heading this way. I'll never forget how fast the thing was either. Here's a diagram of what happened. We were crossing. This is a neighborhood street. The canine creature exited, ran across the 4-lane road right in front of us. There was an open field on the other side that it exited into. There was no one at the gas station ahead of us. That's Dogman, all right, but let's continue. The road we were driving on had very heavy trees to the right-hand side of us, so we couldn't see it. When it came out, it was running but crossed this road in just a few steps. It was big enough and effortlessly fast enough to know that a human couldn't have dressed up and done this. There was an open field that it ran into. When my husband and I got to where the trees broke, we both turned our heads to look, but it was long gone by then. About 4 seconds. Oh my god. I think the only thing that was said was a quiet, "What the fuck?" by me. More about what that thing looked like. It was more menacing than my photo, but to be honest, much less scary than what I imagine a werewolf to be. When it was running across the road, it didn't get the sense that it carried that we saw it, or that it cared that we saw it. Sorry, I'm terrible at reading apparently. The music also stopped. Again, this is a little bit of the outro, so it's fine. But when it was running across the road, I didn't get the sense that it cared that we saw it, or that it was even trying that hard to cross before we got closer. I didn't feel fear as if we were threatened, only a disbelief really. And again, it's not like we were in a rural area by any stretch of the imagination. When we passed the tree line, his apartment complex was literally another 150 yards or so up the road. We hurried in and didn't exactly get to our plans. We basically just sat there in silence trying to rationalize, I guess. Still, to this day, I often think to myself, I mean, really, did this really happen? But as soon as I close my eyes and think about it, those bright yellow eyes are still there. Wow. Horrifying, truly. Read Baroska now? You're right. I need to start a new creepypasta channel. Yeah, it was just a $10,000 furry costume. They were just a track star. They were going for a late night run. What were their plans? Hold up. I think that they were literally just saying they were going to have sex, but they wanted to say it in like the most PG way possible. Oh, we still had plans before I was expected home. We just had a couple plans. I mean, you could have avoided this whole thing just by saying we were going back to his place. So we still had time. I still had time before I had to be home, so we were going back to his place. They're still dating at the time. All of these pull options ensure constipation. You say that's a bad thing. Imagine having the runs during the apocalypse. What are you thinking? But yes, I believe it. I believe that this is a true werewolf sighting. I found this because somebody posted it in a it's like the Dogman subreddit or something. And so they will post they posted this as like a reference, like, oh, I had a Dogman sighting years and years ago, and this is from 13 years ago. So they're still trying to rationalize it to this day. So this was what? So this would have been 22 years ago. They had 22. This is a 22-year-old werewolf sighting. Hey. Have you heard any werewolf sightings recently? They're still around. Maybe they've all went to the Great Wolf Lodge. Everyone's going to the Great Wolf Lodge. Taking my son to the Great Wolf Lodge and Cincinnati Zoo this weekend. I can't wait. This sounds like just a recipe for danger. You're going to get the Great Wolf cough. You're going to get the Great Wolf cough and then end up pushing your kid into a gorilla pit. Harambe was at the Cincinnati Zoo. What are they thinking? This is a recipe for disaster, and they're seeming so excited. Maybe the ellipse, the little ellipses right here. The ellipses right here is to indicate that they're worried, but then they tried to reassure themselves. I can't wait. Yay! But we don't care that much about the Great Wolf Lodge. What we do care about is Markiplier's Juggajoes. Why is Markiplier stealing Ethan's glory? There can only be one set of Juggajoes. This lighting, why is he telling me a ghost story? He does have this weird low lighting. And someone replied to that going, why does it look like he has huge tits? Am I crazy? It does. The man's very peculiar. There's clavicular and then there's peculiar, who is Markiplier. The is already there. Interesting. Hadn't thought about it. It's an easy transition in name. But yes, these were all short. I'm literally just pulling these up. These are super short. There's nothing to really talk about with these. I just thought this was funny. Brian Gnome coded. It is a little bit. I can tell it's just his. It really is just a poor lighting choice. Because it's not even anything. It's literally just that it's super bright around the sides and in this, like, it creates more of a contrast. Furry convention at the Great Wolf Lodge? Swimming in fursuits? all natural. We know Markiplier is all natural. Have you guys heard about Markiplier's mom, who wrote a book called like Markiplier from North Korea? From North Korea. Markiplier from North Korea. A North Korean refugee's daughter chronicles her family's epic journey from war-torn Korea to the American suburbs, culminating in the birth and upbringing of YouTube sensation Markiplier, told with resilience, heartbreak, humor, and unflinching candor. What I was hearing people saying was that she said that Markiplier would, if he would have grown up in North Korea, they would have seen how amazing he was with all of these like supernatural feats, that he would have overthrown Kim Jong-un and become the supreme leader himself. I don't know if that's true, but that's the only thing I've seen from this book. Maybe those were fake. Because I'm seeing a Reddit post right now that's saying that people that were making these claims probably didn't even get the books yet because they were on pre-order, which would take 2 or 3 months to ship. But this was a post from 4 months ago. So theoretically, those people should have books by now, and I feel like there should be more insight into this. Yeah, I'm not seeing much. Maybe I did just see something that was fake. Spreading fake news. We love it, don't we? Well, I personally do think that if Markiplier grew up in North Korea, he would have overthrown Kim Jong-un. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, look at him. Look at him. North Koreans seem a little nuts sometimes, but I think it's just deeply ingrained trauma. No, definitely. I mean, from what I've like seen, it's like it's on a level of like subliminal messaging and stuff that's just fully ingrained into their persons. I guess it's not even subliminal though; it's just up front and center. But yeah, it is crazy. Again, this is another thing that has almost no reason to show it. But I also think that when you listen to North Koreans that have like left the country, it does seem like sorry, I'm going back and forth here, but it does seem like most North Koreans that have left the country did so because of the feelings that they had within the country. Because people like Hassan talk about like, what are you talking about? There are rich people in North Korea. And it's like, yeah, but it's also literally like, when you are a citizen of North Korea, you're not even allowed to move within the districts of North Korea if you are not part of this like upper class, because they work on that type of class system. Have you seen one of the guards for Kim talk about the U.S. Marines? It's interesting to listen to him. I haven't seen that. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, basically like growing up in a cult. That's like a perfect example, I'd say. It's like growing up in a cult where even when you know that something's wrong and you've broken out of it, there's still those like little things that are left over that are baked into you that you have to like, you know, try and weed out as you grow. But yes, I literally have nothing to say here other than I thought it was interesting the way his brow perfectly lined up with the lips and the nose. He like perfectly got a kiss on the eye. That was quite literally the only reason I pulled this up. But yes, we finally got one little head kiss. It's looking good. You know, I think Tamara messed up a little bit because Ethan doesn't sit, he slouches. It's like if he's sitting up in his chair, he might get a little peck on the cheek, but I feel like it'd be hard for Ethan to get the kiss on the lips that she wants. It's not going to be like an easy head turn. It's going to be like he has to catch it. He has to real jump up. Gotta really jump up there. She's got to just make it longer where it comes up and it's like it's doing kisses in a couple different places trying to get it right. What a sweet pic. Oh, I love it. Honestly, this makes I wish I had shown the dating and money thing after this, but I'm going to show this first. Actually, I will show the dating and money thing next because I think that's more interesting. We'll finish it off with Jew goes off on Angry Gamer from See, I get it. I get that people are making a joke, but sometimes it's like I don't know if it's going to read that well by people that might just be scrolling past. Someone gets this on their homepage because they went on the H3 subreddit for some reason and they're just like, "What the fuck? What is going on?" But yes, we get this beautiful kiss and then dating and money, a dating and money confrontation. So remember that image. Someone had a confrontation with dating and money. This was posted 2 days ago. I was visiting LA this week and walking on Rodeo Drive. A dude took me and my friend's photo on Rodeo and showed it to us and wanted us to buy it from him. When I looked up, I was shocked to see the one and only Dating and Money in the flesh. I said, "Oh no, not you. I know you. I watch H3. His smile instantly dropped, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you watch a genocide supporter and Zionist?" Super loud, definitely trying to embarrass us on the public street. My friends I was on vacation with don't watch the show at all, and were literally so confused at what was happening. Top 5 LA experiences for sure. Yeah, that's a little crazy. Being with your friends in that scenario and having to explain that afterwards when they're like, what did he say about you? Like, what? But I like that this is what he's talking about. I closed it by accident, but you support this genocide supporting Zionist? You like this guy? What's wrong with you? But then I realized, because I was wondering, I was like, is this a true story? I was like, I'm wondering if this is fake or not. But then I remembered, what did Dating and Money tell Ethan and Hila his profession was? He said, didn't he say he was a photographer? That like popped into my head where I'm like, didn't this guy say that he was a photographer? Is this what he meant? Is that he's literally just selling, he's like, this is like just scumbag shit. Just tourist trapping. At its worst, at its finest, some may say. But like, come on, man. So he's literally on Rodeo all day, harassing people, trying to get them to buy photos from him, or looking for celebrities to harass to get video content. You know, you got to respect the grind on some level. But I guess I don't have to respect it that much when the grind doesn't necessarily accomplish a whole lot. A true goofball, very much so. He's like the lowest tier of troll where he does think what he's doing. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I was going to say maybe he thinks he's in the right, but I don't even know if that's true. He's just trying to get that bag. I really do think that if Ethan hired him a job, he'd probably take it. Can you be our Rodeo correspondent? He just hangs out there all day. They cut to him live. Georgie doesn't kiss boys. Ethan used to all the time. Ethan's now going to kiss a boy to prove you wrong. I know it. I don't think I pulled up the... Let me pull up this too. But yes, that was just a small little thing I saw that I thought was interesting about Dating and Money, because it also like very much illuminated the type of profession he's working, I guess, if you want to call it that. Just the idea that the best thing that you could do with your time is literally just standing out on Rodeo Drive. Like, it's about to be summer, bro. It's going to get hot. You still just going to be out there trying to sell pictures? He probably has one of those little hand fans. He'll be all right. Did I not say Georgie? I thought I did. So Georgie is the phobic one, not Ethan. I knew it all along. Ethan Klein would never. All the things that people say about Ethan is actually true about Georgie. Honestly, that should be a bit. Just make a whole video where it's like Ethan kills Georgie. Get some guy to play Ethan. Just get the Ethan impersonator back. What am I talking about? Get the Ethan Klein impersonator. I'm pretty sure if you look up Ethan Klein, the images of that guy still come up. Please tell me they do. I have to scroll down a little bit. Yeah, here's one. I shouldn't just pull up Google Images because that could be bad. Oh, where'd he go? All spaced out. There he is. The man himself. Just get him to do like a whole episode and then have Ethan come in and choke him out, take his throne back. And then they can be like, hey, all of those talking points you've been using, those were against Georgie. The Kleinster's back. And here are my thoughts on Israel-Palestine. Just immediately drop into it again. Be like, here we go. Back and out of the pot into the, what do they say? Out of the pan into the fire? Is that it? I can't remember what, is it a pot? Is it a pan? Who knows? But here is Harley Morenstein goes off on Angry Gamer.
What are you, a fucking angry loser person, bro? Get your shit together. You're playing video games, bro. You want to have fun? What the fuck's the point? If you're not having fun playing video games, when do you have fun, you fucking loser? Put a smile on your face. You're fucking playing video games. If it's not working, go for a fucking walk.
Calm down.
Fucking loser, bro. Holy shit. Fucking pissed off playing video games, dude. How shit is life? Playing fucking Arc Raiders, bro's mad. Wow. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Turn the game in. Turn in your PlayStation. Go for a walk outside. Take a fucking hike, pal.
I do think it's so funny, the guy calling him a psycho. Because, yeah, he is kind of blowing up on him. It's really funny, but... Hey, man, he's got a point. You either have fun or you leave. We're here for the good times.
You're fucking playing a video game pissed off. What a weak-minded individual. Fucking pathetic. Holy cow.
Just a little projection for the day. That guy just got him killed. I don't know if that's true, but imagine. It's his teammate that he just got him killed, and he's like, you don't know what you're doing here. I'm not your buddy, pal. I'm not your buddy, guy. I'm not your guy, pal. Hey, buddy, I'm not your pal. I'm not your buddy, guy. I'm waiting for the day. Someone needs to call Trump buddy so he can say that and mimic so he can hit the South Park line. This Canadian is coming out. You're right. I thought it was funny. Now we're just going on a South Park tangent real quick. I did think it was funny that they made Trump just Saddam Hussein purely for the fact that then that just made Trump Canadian. It just gave him the Canadian look from the show. But now we're on to some real news. LUS, Law Understood Simply, reenacted the H3Snark court hearing the moment the Reddit mods lost, featuring a friend of the channel, Alex the Fiction. So LUS has been keeping up to date on all of this, and I really wanted to see how this goes. This sounds hilarious. Reenacting the H3Snark court hearing the moment the Reddit mods lost. I already read it. We got the news intro part, but let's get it started.
Здравствуйте всем и добро пожаловать на реконструкцию слушания.
Something's not right here. Something's a little different.
Между адвокатом H3 и адвокатом Саркастиком. Я буду играть роль Рома. Тони будет играть роль суда, а Гусь...
Alex sounds a little different. I don't know what it is. Sorry, just some quick Russian. Some of my previous streams actually have that. You can listen to me in Arabic. But let's get it started. Sorry. From the top, one more time.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the reenactment of the hearing between the H3 lawyer and the Snark lawyer. I'll be playing the part of Rom, Tony will be playing the part of the court, and Goosey will be playing the part of Leia. So, take it away, Tony.
Call to order of the court, calling case number 2580296 in re-subpoena to Reddit Inc. and Discord. Please state your appearances for the record, starting with the plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor. Rom Barnesom of He Barnesom on behalf of the plaintiff, respondent, TED Entertainment, Inc.
Good morning.
You can tell Alex is trying so hard not to laugh. Just from the start.
Good morning, Your Honor. Leia Bullich of Kronenberger Rosenfeld on behalf of defendant Does.
Good morning. Okay, I hope people got a copy of my questions. Let me start with the very first one. This is directed towards TED Entertainment, Inc. The DMCA provides a procedure. Did TEI issue the subpoena pursuant to the procedure under DMCA?
You know, I just thought of something. Could I, if I wanted to? Yeah, I could change it to something. You know, change it back to Russian. This is how you learn a different language.
Выдачи повесток. Нет, хорошо. Почему? Нет. Извините. А почему нет? Для выдачи повестки в соответствии со статьей 512 необходимо выдать уведомление о нарушении авторских.
Honestly, this one's pretty good. The Russian actually is it flows pretty well. Some of the other auto-generated I'll leave the subtitles. I guess I don't need it because it's on screen, but it is interesting that some of the languages don't flow as well. They're AI voices. But that one, the Russian one actually sounds pretty good.
Towards TED Entertainment. Let me start.
Sorry. Running it back just for a second because I don't want to actually miss anything.
I hope people got a copy of my questions. Let me start with the very first one. This is directed towards TED Entertainment, Inc. The DMCA provides a procedure. Did TEI issue the subpoena pursuant to the procedure under DMCA for issuing subpoenas?
No.
Okay.
The reason...
Why not?
I'm sorry.
And why not?
In order to issue subpoena...
Damn. He was trying to explain himself, but you gotta let the court speak.
Under 512H, there needs to be an issuance of a takedown notice, and pursuant to section 512H2A, no DMCA takedown is at issue in this particular case. Therefore, this is not a 512H proceeding.
Understood? Okay, great. The next question is directed to both sides. If the subpoena was not issued pursuant to the DMCA, which is the case here, which I thought it was, why did the parties discuss law applying the DMCA legal standard instead of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 45? This is a straight Rule 45 motion. Let me hear from the plaintiff, and then I'll hear from Ms. Volek.
Certainly. Your Honor, I apologize for saying this. I think there might be an incorrect characterization of the standard, whether 512H or Rule 45. In Section 502H actually imports Rule 45 into the analysis. This is specifically to be found within Section 512H6, which states that the FRCP shall apply to the, quote, greatest extent possible, end quote, regarding, quote, the issuance, service, and enforcement, end quote, of the subpoena. There are cases that actually discuss this importation analysis greatly in depth. I would specifically direct the court towards Signature Team Management's LLC v. Automatic 941F sub 2D 1145 at 1152 through 1153.
Okay, all right. Ms. Volek, your response?
We agree. The case law applies equally to DMCA subpoenas and Rule 45 subpoenas. For that reason, Mr. Barnesom stated, both are The district courts have applied the same First Amendment framework when a party seeks to unmask an anonymous speaker in these cases. We would note that the principal difference between a Rule 45 subpoena and a DMCA subpoena generally is that with the DMCA subpoena, they're issued as a ministerial event by the clerk of the court upon satisfaction of the requirements of Section 512. Whereas with Rule 45, typically a party is going to the court and seeking authorization from the court, typically before a Rule 26F conference, because otherwise they are not allowed to conduct discovery. So in a typical situation, a plaintiff would go to the court and ask for permission and show why it has a basis for obtaining an unmasking subpoena. That did not happen in this case because in the Central District case, the plaintiff and Denham simply stipulated to issuance of the subpoenas. There was no motion for early discovery. There was no scrutiny by the court at the first instance. So if the court believes that there is a separate DMCA legal standard, we suggest that it would apply here because there was no original scrutiny by the underlying court.
In other words, both sides agree that the DMCA standard applies here, even though it's a Rule 45 subpoena, not under the DMCA. Is that what you're saying, Ms. Volek?
Essentially, they're the same standard.
So when I look at the case law...
Okay, I think the court will do a better job parsing through the what they were saying, because yeah, there was a lot of numbers there, and it does seem like, so they're agreeing on the standards applied. Is that what it is?
It appears that there are not the same standard. Some cases are analyzed within the DMCA. They don't explicitly say that they're different standards. But when cases are analyzed under the DMCA, they use a very specific framework that's slightly different from the Rule 45 framework. So that's what I was concerned about in this situation. In other words, under the rule, under the DMCA analysis, if I go down that path, I use that analysis, I wouldn't use the Highfields test. I would follow the standard that is under several cases that have been adjudicated in this district, in which they talk about finding a prima facie case of copyright infringement under the DMCA standard. And that's why I'm concerned about the difference between Rule 45 and the DMCA. Does that make sense?
Not really, but from what I'm taking away is it does sound like, because I remember the Highfields test being explicitly stated. I don't remember in whose submission, who submitted something about the Highfields test, but it does sound like that's like the angle they're trying to use. And there's several cases under the DMC. See, I wish Lust would have interjected at least a little bit of like some legal knowledge here just to explain this a bit better. Because so far, all I've gathered is that they are agreeing on this, but then the judge is not. The judge is trying to define the difference between the these two different analysis styles. Is the purple guy the defendant? It's me. I'll join in. What's going on? I'm scared. But no, not me. I'm very confused at this moment, and I'm hoping that it clears itself up a little bit.
The difference between Rule 45 and the DMCA. Does that make sense?
It does, but there are DMCA cases that do use the Highfield standard, and I think most courts engage in the same framework regardless of whether they call it the Highfield standard. In other words, they first look to see whether the plaintiff has made a showing of its...
Yeah, so the Rule 45, okay, so it's basically just trying to state, because I think the DMCA, so Rule 45 is to circumvent initial DMCA strike or DMCA claims. Is that what it is? That's at least the way I'm reading it right here. Rule 45 typically refers to the Federal Rule of Civil Procedures, which governs subpoenas in U.S. federal courts. In the context of copyright cases, Rule 45 is often used when a party seeks to identify an anonymous infringer by subpoenaing an online service provider for user information. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. While the DMCA provides a framework for takedown notices and safe harbor protections for service providers, it does not have its own Rule 45 when copyright holders want to identify someone who is infringing on their copyright anonymously. They often file a lawsuit against John Doe and use the Rule 45 subpoena to command the internet service provider or platform to disclose the identity of the account holder. Because that's kind of what I assumed, right? Is the whole point of this is to subpoena to then sue for copyright infringement. And I guess you could argue that they should have used the DMCA process, but I guess the issue with that is the DMCA process through Reddit and like the issues there. But I don't know if that would necessarily be a statement you could make in court. Because I think the point is to set a higher standard, since Reddit itself cannot set a standard for for copyright infringement and requires the individuals to like submit DMCAs onto these materials.
Claim under the Highfields and other authority that requires an evidentiary standard rather than just a pleading standard. But then we move to the second part of the test, which is the balancing test, looking at does the plaintiff's case and effort to unmask the speakers weighed against the Doe's rights to
Understood.
First Amendment speech.
Okay, I think free has been obliterated by the earlier responses. So the next question, number 4. So the parties appearing to be arguing the merits of Denon's alleged copyright infringement and the Doe defendant's alleged contributory copyright infringement. Why does the court not only have to find TEI made a prima facie case for copyright infringement and contributory copyright infringement to decide the Doe defendant's motions to quash? Let's first hear from Mr. Barnizum, and I'll hear from Ms. Volek.
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to be sure first that I understand the question clearly. I apologize for myself. I was slightly confused.
Okay.
Are you saying that there's a concern other than the initial showing of infringement by Denims and not incorporating a fair analysis and also showing contributory infringement? Or in other words, is the issue here the issue whether Denims made a fair use or not?
I think the issue here is that why do I have to find only that TEI made a prima facie case for infringement and contributory infringement in order to decide it? Or do I have to go further than that? In other words, what is the standard I have to use for this? Do I have to say it's just prima facie, or do I have to look at the evidence, as Ms. Volek has said? And it would be a prima facie case of infringement against Denons plus contributory infringement against Doe defendants.
I think I understand.
Okay.
So in terms of, the pleadings versus evidentiary, it seems something that is also very unique to this district as opposed to other districts. The Northern District appears whenever there is an assertion of some First Amendment privilege, whether it be anonymity or it might be the fair use issue seems to be a bit in flux. So as I'm sure you're well aware. But I think that has been imported.
Here's like an interesting concept, right? People talk about like, oh, don't you like freedom of speech and this and that. Don't you have to like obviously you get some level of like you assume some level of these rights within it, like, but I don't know, it's like, wouldn't you have to establish that this person has those rights? I know it sounds weird, but that's what I'm like, how do you know? We don't know who this person is. How do we know they even have the rights to free speech? Maybe they're in a prison. I think you still get free speech in prison, right? Can I can sell my books out of a jail cell. I don't know. Laws are just so weird, and I think that's why even the judges and lawyers get confused 9 times out of 10. And it almost, maybe I'm just like too ill-equipped to actually understand this, but to me it almost feels like the judge is wanting to like rush their own process and is kind of getting frustrated with the fact that that on both sides they're trying to like extend the case in some regard by actually making the judge, as they said, like do more work. Yeah, the Bill of Rights wasn't created with the internet in mind. Rip. That's what I mean. Is it's just like, it's the same thing when people talk about like, oh, we need to get rid of data centers. Oh, I think about it. The first thing I thought about was when people talked about like legalizing cannabis. And you have one side that's like, oh, we just need a full legalization. And then you have another side that's like, no, you need to have it fully illegal, completely prohibited entirely. I think both of those are like pretty like just dumb. Because what you want is to have some form of regulations on top of these different things. So I don't know. It's like, of course, I don't think that you should, have a surveillance state it shouldn't be a surveillance state when you're online. But I also don't think that you should have like ultimate anonymity to do and say whatever you want when online. You know what I mean? There should probably be some form of regulation there. And the same thing goes with like data centers, and the same thing goes with cannabis. It's like you got to figure out the ways that we can regulate and create laws around it, because that's kind of the point of this, right? Is that there aren't laws established well, and it leaves the opportunity open for greater cases to be made by like, more powerful entities. Regulations sound fed, bro. Anarchy. We need true anarchy. Burn it all down. That's how we rebuild. Burn it all down and then the strongest gets to rise. It's the best. See, and that's the thing, is it's about having justifiable regulations. Because obviously you don't, like, people want to talk about ultimate freedom. Ultimate freedom includes all of the bad stuff you don't like as well. So I think that's kind of the thing we need to remember. It's like we need to have justifiable regulations. But let's continue.
First prong analysis, which is different than the Central District, which is different from other areas. This is, in the Northern District, it seems to be the distinction between what's called the Highfields test and the Sony test. I would say the major distinction between the two is that the Sony test is a prima facie allegation of infringement, which the Highfields looks at things more from an evidentiary standpoint. I'll be honest, I looked very far and wide to kind of see if there was a better articulation of prima facie standard in the Northern District. I would say this. It seems that the courts employ a different level of scrutiny given the speech is at issue. And so, for example, in your citation to Barnes v. YouTube, while there was a casual passing assertion of fair use, it was more an issue of whether disclosure would implicate First Amendment rights. And given the prima facie showing in balance to the balance of the equities, the motion to quash was denied. And generally speaking, I would say, if only there is a showing of fair use, the First Amendment standard does a motion to quash end up really getting granted. There is a line I found that really helps explain the standard really well, albeit from a Second Circuit. In applying the lower Sony standard, it is used language that I think really applies to the prima facie evidentiary standard, which is Arista Records v. Doe 3, 604 F 3D 110 at 123 to 124, Second Circuit 2010. This has to do with an ordinary tort infringement case, which is where the Sony standard generally applies to. And in it, they said factor 2 through 4 clearly, as a matter of law, weighed against fair use. But factor 1, there was a factual dispute about, or even an allegation dispute about whether there was use of private copies and space shifting was fair use. And the Second Circuit said, with factor 1, it, quote, raises questions of credibility and plausibility that cannot be resolved while Doe 3 avoids suit by hiding behind the shield of anonymity. In other words, the prima facie showing is basically, do I have evidence presenting each element of the case? If there is a factual dispute, then the motion must be denied, because at least that prima facie showing of infringement has been made. And if there is questions about fair use that result in credibility or factual dispute, then it is still insufficient to defeat the prima facie showing.
Understood. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Miss Volek, I'll be hearing from you on this.
Yes, thank you.
That's what I mean. It's like the judge just kind of went, oh, okay.
So
Like, I need a little bit more. I need you guys to kind of like, I liked the little back and forth they were having, but I guess we need to hear from Miss Volek now. Because I'd really like to hear the judge's opinion on it, but I guess they'll give it at the end.
Does
After
believe
both
the court
statements.
must find the plaintiff made a prima facie evidentiary case for copyright infringement and contributory copyright infringement for the following reasons. So we believe that the plaintiff must adduce the competent evidence as to every essential element of its claim. Clearly, direct infringement is an element of contributory infringement, so the plaintiff must establish this.
I guess the question then becomes, it's like, doing contributory infringement, if it's tied directly to direct, if it's only tied to direct infringement, does that mean that like the pursuit of infringement contributorily doesn't matter? Because I feel like that should matter, right? It's like sending out, because I guess I get the point on some level of like, if I send out a dead link, then how do you charge me because I never actually infringed anything? But I also think, yeah, it's like it does bring up a weird, like a gray area of people trying to commit crimes. If I tried to shoot at somebody, or, you know, and I didn't hit them, I tried to shoot someone and I didn't hit them, it's like I'm still going to get charged. I know this is drastically different, but you see what I'm saying is it's like there should, I don't know. And again, I guess even if there is a crime that's committed, yeah, what is even the what would be a valid like verdict for that? Like what would be a valid outcome? Put them in prison for life. Am I out of the loop, or are these fans reading and acting it out? Yes, it is. This is Alex the Fiction, Tony Guo, also known as Law Understood Simply, and I'm very sorry, I forget her name. Alex has said it in my chat like quite a few times at this point, but my apologies. It's Leah Volek. They got her.
Further,
You won't get charged in the PvP zone. You're right. Throw them all in jail. But unless they're in the PvP zone. I'm just thinking about everything. Like, it just is so complicated. That's why copyright is like one of the weirdest laws. Because yeah, all of the stuff involving it is just to the benefit of companies at the end of the day. And it kind of does screw over, like, I don't know, it's hard because it's like in both ways it screws over creators and smaller like I don't even know. There are just too many levels to it because you could talk about copyright in terms of like educational usage, like when people copyright, like when there's copyright infringement on books and stuff like that. And I feel like that's such like a weird thing. But then when we talk about like videos and movies and stuff, and then talk about movies and the dates in which copyrights end and how it's changed over the years because companies like Disney literally just wanted to retain their copyrights for longer. Because wasn't the original copyright length, like for the people who could retain copyright, was like 9 years? I feel like that makes sense to me. Something like that. Like if you had like a 10-year stint, like after 10 years, I can use whatever character you created. But then also it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's just so interesting because yeah, there's a lot of different levels to look at it from. And so I can understand the issue with finding a, again, like justifiable prima facie case or like other cases to reference because they're all dealing with such different aspects of copyright and copyright infringement and fair use. Like they're all so different.
in the Ninth Circuit, the court in re-DMCA 512H.
Yes, Goose. Yes. It's Goosey. Sorry.
subpoena to Twitter, that is the Moneybags case that Your Honor referred to in a later question here. Judge Chabria held that for the purposes of obtaining a subpoena, the plaintiff is the one who must come forward with a prima facie showing that the use was not a fair use. So here the plaintiff bears the burden of showing that denim's infringed, and that it is not a fair use, or that doe's infringed, that it was not a fair use, and that the plaintiffs must show the requisite knowledge and inducement, which is the basis for their claims. I think Arista Recordings is distinguishable from the instant case because there it was obviously a direct infringement case. Here is a contributory infringement case, and unlike direct...
My whole question is this. The part I'm confused about is not only did on Reddit they post links to... Because like it seems like the main thing they're focusing on is the links to Denim's watch party. But wasn't part of the whole original filing also their usage of YouTube, like the mirror site? Wasn't that like a main part of it? The fact that they were linking to literal like methods of siphoning views away from the channel, which I think would be considered. Well, I don't know. I guess that might be considered contributory copyright infringement because they're not the ones necessarily posting it. I guess so. But then that would be outside of the Denim's case, and that itself would be copyright infringement because it's just a re-upload on a mirror site. Or I guess, are mirror sites considered copyright infringement? Again, it's all such a weird, everything seems to be in a bit of a gray area.
Direct infringement, which is strict liability offense, the plaintiff has to show that these additional knowledge and intent elements, and we believe that they have to show them on a real evidentiary basis. And this is a...
How can they do that if they don't even know who the person is? I mean, this seems to be the challenge that bind in this kind of situation, as the plaintiffs don't even know who the person is. How can they make a prima facie case like this with the bare information they have? That's my concern here.
They can make it. Well, they can't make it, in my opinion. But they would do it by...
How could they look to make it if they can't find out who the people are?
I don't think that's true. Because they can look at the basis of the allegations of what they're claiming is infringement. So here it's not disputed that what the mega threats say, where they were posted, when they were posted, and to show. First of all, they haven't shown that does knew that Denim's stream was infringing. And second, they haven't shown active steps.
What? First of all, they haven't shown that does knew that Denim's stream was infringing, and second, I don't think that matters, right? Your knowledge of the law doesn't necessarily... It could, I guess, because I guess what they're saying is they were just linking to a stream that they liked. They didn't know that they were going to commit copyright infringement. But I also think that's a very weak case. Because again, they're like ignoring this other aspect of the YouTube links.
Of inducement.
I thought the active steps of inducement were encouraging people to watch the allegedly infringing stream, correct?
That's not the allegation that the plaintiff makes. The plaintiff makes the allegation that does induce Denim's to infringe.
I see.
And there's simply no evidence of that.
Okay, let's hear from Mr. Barnesum on this one, on knowledge and intent with regard to the Doe defendant's contributory infringement.
First off, there was a number of things that were incorrect. To directly answer your question, the knowledge is they knew that the works were being shown without authorization.
How did they know that? How do you show that they knew that?
Yeah, look. Yeah, so the falsity of TEI's allegations against Doe's. So is this in there? So is this their reply? Sorry, I just clicked on the first thing I saw. TEI alleges 3 categories of conduct related to H3Snark subreddit. 1, rampant infringement, including posts of links to H3 content on YouTube. Fraudulent DMCA counter notifications. The megathreads of these categories, only the megathread allegations directly relate to the alleged inducement. Or of these categories, only the megathread allegations directly relate to the alleged inducement. So that's what they're trying to claim, is that these, okay. TEI's allegations against Doe's are facially incorrect based on conclusory allegations and assumptions, not observations about does at all. Well, again, I think this also goes to, yeah, see, they keep using this language, and I think this is kind of what the judge is saying, is that a lot of this is just based on, you don't know what their intentions were. Well, how could I know what their intentions are? I don't know who they are. That's kind of the point. Based on the information that we do have, it does seem to be the case, but I also just don't see how I don't, yeah, again, I don't see how this is not part of it. I'm so confused. Okay. Maybe I'm just dumb and I haven't read through enough of these legal documents to understand this, but I feel like that would be the greater claim there.
Because they explicitly stated in their posts that in the first post from January 31st, 2025, that Denims was streaming the podcast episode and would be streaming the nuke. Then, later on, the second post mega thread that they made, they said that they showed the status of all the people that were, quote, reacting, and with Denims was at the top of the list. Live, sitting, now reacting. So they knew that she was streaming the works at the time. I don't know how you can possibly make a subjective, let alone objective analysis of fair use without even...
Well, the whole, I guess the claim that they're trying to make is that how would they have known whether or not Denims would have been committing copyright infringement? But again, the whole point is about the statements that they made themselves, that it's clear that their intention was to commit copyright infringement.
Without claiming to have even seen the works in the first place. I think to make that determination, you need to be able to view the works. At that stage, all you know is something is being shown without authorization. I would also like to address a statement that was made regarding the standard of whether it's the burden or the Ma's burden, the doe's burden to show fair use. This is an issue that was addressed in the very first Meet and Confer. I wanted to try to resolve as many issues in dispute as possible. And one of them was, who has the burden of proving fair use? And under that, under Lens v. Universal in the Ninth Circuit, it is unequivocally clear that it is always on the defendant or the party that's trying to assert fair use for their burden. The statement that was in the Twitter case is an anomaly that has not been followed.
I mean, that's a good point, too. Prove to us that we're committing copyright infringement. Shouldn't it be that you have to prove that you're, acting in fair use?
In any other context. And
that's Judge Chabria's decision. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Also, Mr. Barnisa.
And I think that it must have been the appeal to another judge in their district, I think. Because I remember saying something about that. And I think that might be what they're doing right here, is that they did, Mr. Barnasim made a claim about a previous case, and it seems that this judge Sally Kim knew who it was. Interesting. Showing he knows ball.
I misunderstand your argument about doe defendants. I thought it was that the doe defendants encouraged other people to watch the...
That is exactly right. That is the very...
I was right about that, right? Okay.
Damn, they're kind of dogpiling now.
Definition of contributory infringement, when you're advertising or promoting somebody else's infringement. I do not know where it came up that we're claiming that we induced Denims to infringe. That is incorrect. What we're saying is they contributed to it by advertising it.
Okay, understood. Thank you. Okay, so given,
Your Honor,
in light of that, I'm going to skip over question 5, but let me go to question number 6, and then Ms. Volek, I'll give you another chance to respond. If the alleged infringer here, the doe defendants, allegedly infringed copyrights, are also commented with the copyright infringement, should I apply the Highfields test as Judge Chabria did in DMCA? Let me hear first from Ms. Volek on this, and then you can speak some more.
Yes, so in the Moneybags case, Judge Chabria correctly determined when adjudicating discovery requests that would unmask anonymous speaker, the courts must first consider the First Amendment. implications of disclosure, just as they would when adjudicating any other discovery requests that risk infringing First Amendment rights. Here, the H3Snark subreddit was a dedicated community for critical commentary on Ethan Klein and his podcast. He is a widely known public figure. H3 is a public-facing media enterprise. It was not a harassment forum. It was a discussion space in the long
This has nothing to do. Wait, what?
tradition of it was
Wait,
not.
wait,
It's
wait.
a widely known.
Sorry. When adjudicating discovery requests that would unmask an anonymous speaker, then courts must first consider the First Amendment implications of disclosure.
Here, the H3Snark subreddit was a dedicated community for critical commentary on Ethan Klein and his podcast. He is a widely known public figure. H3 is a public-facing media enterprise. It was not a harassment forum. It was a discussion space in the long tradition of fan criticism communities in which people who had followed Mr.
See, this is the thing you're missing, though. Fan criticism communities are usually actual fans, not people that their whole life is dedicated to hate watching and trying to ruin the lives of like individuals.
Klein's career and content debated, criticized, and organized their views about him. The subreddit specifically attracted members who disagreed with Mr. Klein's positions on matters of public concern, including his stated views on Israel-Palestine conflict, his management of his platform, and his treatment of other public figures with whom he had public disputes.
And Ms. Vulik, that would be fine if they were just commenting on what Mr. Klein has said. I think what makes this more of an issue in terms of copyright infringement or contributory infringement is that the live stream was live streaming the whole show from start to finish. And then though defendants were allegedly, it looks like from the documents I've seen, urging other people to watch it. And so that's what makes it different from just having commentary about a public figure, which is anonymous. And that falls into a totally different category. I've ruled that in other cases, but in this particular case, the interplay between copyright infringement or alleged copyright infringement, alleged contributory copyright infringement, and the First Amendment is what I'm concerned about. I understand they were commenting on a...
Yeah, she's trying to make the argument that Ethan is unmasking them to violate their First Amendment rights, i.e. so H3 fans pressure them into being silenced. Bogus argument, mogged by Judge Kim. Yeah, I was going to say, it's like, I understand the claim that's trying to be made, but it just has nothing to do with the actual, like, case at hand. And the judge is outlining it perfectly that if you were just making criticism, that's one thing. And I made the point about, like, them being fans, and I understand, like, that doesn't necessarily have to do with the case, but it's just pointing out that you're saying that it's a fan criticism community, but I digress. The main problem here is that has nothing to do with the actual claims of copyright infringement or contributory copyright infringement. All you're saying is just that it doesn't matter because they were just trying to make criticism in good fun.
Public figure, but the way they did it, you can separate out their comments on the public figure in the subreddit and say that's completely First Amendment issue. But the way they did it was to encourage other people to watch a full-length live stream of the other or the copyright owner's material. That's my concern. How do you get around that concern?
Sure. Let me explain something about Reddit. So Reddit users can post, they can...
So that was the point that Lussid pointed out, where she really had to go, let me explain something about Reddit real quick. Okay. So you don't seem to understand Reddit. Do you have any gold, Your Honor? If I have more gold than you, maybe you should be calling me Your Honor.
Post threads, which are organized around a specific topic, and then other people can comment on them. Mega threads are a specific tool that moderators use, and it's very, very common to do this. There are probably mega threads going on about this broadcast right now. And what they do is the moderators say, there is a topic that's coming up. Everybody is going to be discussing it. We don't want 10 different threads operating that we have to then moderate. So in order to centralize the discussion and encourage the debate about it, they create...
Okay, so that's what the moderators say. I do almost feel like she's a Redditor with the way this is phrased. What they do is the moderators say, there is this topic that's coming up. Everybody is going to be discussing it. We don't want 10 different threads operating that we have to then moderate. That almost sounds like she's like, can't break through this talking about it in the third person. So she's like, so what they say is, so like, we can't, so when we're doing, like, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm reading too far into that, but that does almost feel like she's sold right there.
They did these mega threads. They did not encourage people to watch the entire live stream live on Denim's stream. And if you watch Denim's stream, it's really impossible to get the original content from that. She often pauses, she commentates over it, she flips to other things. She interacts with her audience. If you wanted to watch...
It's so funny because none of this is even defining fair use. She pauses, commentates maybe, like that's a claim of fair use, flips to other things and interacts with her audience. 3 out of the 4 of these things have nothing to do with actually establishing fair use. Like what?
Content nuke on its own, you would not be able to watch it on Denim's stream. It would just not be the same experience. The does understand this because reaction commentary is very, very popular in the content creation space. It is very common, and Mr. Klein does this himself. All of the content creators do this where they interact with other people's content. They comment on it. You'll see it. One of our exhibits, there's often reactions on top of reactions on top of reactions. Now,
if the lawyer is uncovered as one of the snarkers, does this cause a liability potential court problem for her? I think it would. Like some kind of conflict of interest. If the lawyer is uncovered, this just came through twice. Yeah, that argument is crazy. It makes Leah sound like she has no idea what fair use is and how fair use works. Yeah, it just literally like 3 out of the 4 things she stated have nothing to do with fair use. And the one thing she did state that has to do with fair use is just that adds commentary, commentates over it, but does not like in no way tries to establish the level of commentary that she actually does. Like just says that Denim's pauses.
My clients know this, and they understand that when a content creator is reacting to anything, if they only brought...
Yeah, why did Denim say watch the whole stream here and not there? Like, that's the other funny part is she's saying, if you watched all of Denim's stream, it would be hard to get that as your conclusion. And it's like, you're lucky that the judge hasn't watched the entire stream, because Denim said that multiple times. Like, come on.
Cast something else. That's what they're doing. They are not just showing it was just a live straight through stream of the original content. And that's also why in the 3rd mega thread that they posted,
I guess, yeah, it's not a conflict of interest to represent yourself, but would it be, I guess, I just feel like regardless of if it's a conflict of interest or not, it's definitely not going to be seen with grace by any future judges. Like, you know what I mean? Anybody that, like, even if it gets handed off to a separate judge, they're definitely going to see that as a bit odd. But yeah.
They included the original nuke, the link to the YouTube video itself. It was at the top of the post. It was a hyperlink so that the thumbnail, if anyone went to that mega thread and they clicked on that thumbnail, they would go directly to H3's broadcast of the nuke. So in this context, understanding that it was not just a post that said, hey, watch this video while Denims watches it. It says, here are the people you can view to react to and comment on the original work. And we're creating this thread to streamline the discussion so that everybody can be here. Everybody can have a conversation about it. That was the sole purpose of the mega threads.
Okay, understood. Okay, last question. Are there facts that are undisputed that I can make a determination of fair use? Let's hear from Ms. Volek, and then I'll hear from Bar Nisham on that.
And its subsections and the film itself. Denim's stream, there are many undisputed facts, such as, you know, how long she watched it, the amount and length of her commentary, and the court can also just view the stream and see what she did to make a determination of fair use. So we do think that there are...
Telling them to just watch it, I don't know, just watch it, Google it. Like, it's basically what she said, I don't know, Google it.
Disputed factual issues. The things that are in dispute here are legal characterizations of these facts.
Okay, Mr.
Oh, it crashed for a sec? My bad.
Bar Nisham,
Your Honor, I owe you a sincere
That's so weird. I
apology.
didn't even get any dropped frames. I think OBS has been messing up.
What I'm about to say might be very embarrassing. One of the things we realized recently that Exhibit K to the complaint was actually, I mislabeled it and submitted the wrong video file. Recently, and this is some information you should know about the underlying case. The underlying case has been stayed pending your determination regarding the subpoena. We have carved out of the state a motion for judgment for partial judgment summary on the pleadings as the fair use on the nuke only. Not the countdown episode, which we must bear in mind is still at play. As part of the stipulation, the parties, both Denims and TED Entertainment Inc., stipulated to a corrected version of Exhibit K. The timestamps that we reference in the motion are a reference to that corrected exhibit. I'm more than happy to submit the corrected exhibit version. This was addressed only recently.
Okay, why don't you submit the corrected Exhibit K to me?
If there's still no audio, refresh. Refresh.
I'd appreciate that.
Okay, thank you very much. But I would say, with that in mind, we have the two works, the timing of all the works and the posts at issue. I think you'll be able to make a fair determination based on the evidence you have before you.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take this under submission. Thank you for being prepared to answer the questions, and I'll issue a written order.
Thank you, Your
Wow. Crazy stuff. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. It is just so odd because it feels like she doesn't understand copyright. Like, and I'd assume she does. Sorry, we ended the poll. We're about to start a new one. Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised by this outcome. So, Apocalypse, one snack food survives. Crackers and cheese made it #1 with 44%. Chips/crisps got 28%. Chocolate only got 16%, and popcorn got 12%. I guess we have maybe a lot of lactose intolerant viewers, possibly. That is a possibility. Cheese and crackers, let's go. But yes, that is that. We're going to put up another poll. Ooh. Oh. Okay, so it looks like they got the subpoena, it sounds like. So now we just saw that. This was a great little intro to what's going to be the show for today. Huge legal victory against Reddit mods. H3 show number 266. I didn't look at it when I was there. 1 second. Let me pull up. This, there. I'm assuming that means I'm not seeing it on here anywhere, but I'm assuming that means the subpoena was granted. I'm looking at Court Listener right now, and the last thing was the denying the motion to quash. That's what's up. Okay, now let me see how late they're going to start today. Let me put this poll up. How late will the H3 show, capitalize the S, start today? Will they be on time or early? 10 minutes late, 20 minutes late, or 30 minutes late? And there we go. The poll is up. Superman Ethan, Superman W. You're so right. I don't have the Superman Hassan anymore. I wish I did. I do have Turkish iDubbbz though.
Go watch Turkish iDubbbz stream.
Oh wait, maybe I do still?
Please stop lying!
I guess I was lying. My bad, everybody. Sorry, that was probably a jump scare for some of you.
Why can you not stop lying? What is wrong with you?
Sorry, I forget what some of these are. The bell tolls.
Piss on my lips.
That's a good old Harley one.
Piss on my lips.
Have they been on an early streak? I guess they were early the last few streams, yeah? Sounds about right. When will Ethan call in sick be an option? You know what? I haven't thought about that. I guess once it gets to this point, like once we have to do that at the beginning of the stream. That should be like my new fun poll when I don't have one ready. Just throw a poll up that says, will Ethan call out sick today? Yes or no? Yes, no, maybe so. Oh, you're joking. F's in chat. F's in chat. F's in chat. I don't know what's going on right now. We haven't had these issues in a while. I don't know why that just happened. Now, I do have something else I want to bring up. You know, we're usually on like I'm either usually running out of time and the show starts.
Jesus doesn't even follow the requirements.
Oops, sorry, I clicked on something else by accident. Cliff Kenchel debunks every religion in 47 minutes. That's not what I meant to click on. I meant to pull up Matan Even. Honestly, Matan had on Cliff, and that was one of the best episodes. Matan had on, I wanted to bring up this though, just because this intro was so odd. It's Matan had on Gideon. I didn't know that's how you pronounce his name. Everyone I've heard has always called him Gideon, but then I heard him a few times say Gideon, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. There is a capital D that I guess I never noticed. But here, let me look up Cliff. This was one of my favorites. Cliff and Stuart Netchell. I don't know how to say their name. Knetchell. Heated debate versus Black Israelites with Bert. And everybody stood their ground. They know where they are with the Lord. But this one's more interesting to me. Matan Even had on Gideon. And he got upset at Matan after defending Epstein. What?
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. For today's guest, we have Gideon. Welcome in. Thanks for coming. For today's co-host, we have Mike. Welcome in, Mike. So can you pull your...
I feel like Ethan could go toe-to-toe with Matan. The whole thing is I could show you probably the best Matan interactions. Give me a sec.
Your mic close to you and then introduce yourself.
Of course.
And all that one for those who...
Because there's a few, basically Matan has these, he needs to bring AB so AB can stand in the corner. Honestly, he should bring AB to try and out Crazy Eyes Mike. I wonder if I just look up Mike if he'll come up. Oh, he does. If you just look up Mike, he just comes up immediately. But imagine this. Ethan brings AB just to try and out Crazy Eye Mike. I think that's the only reason AB should come. Matan can get very, very edgy. I mean, literally, the beginning of this podcast is him asking, he just keeps making jokes about him being black. Like, that's literally like the punchline of probably like 9 of the jokes that he tells in the first like 15 minutes. But the humor isn't meant to come from Matan. The humor is meant to come from the uncomfortable nature that he produces. You know, it's the Eric Andre effect. You know what? I just realized, did I not even mention when I brought up the Cliff one?
We worship
That
Christ.
is that. Or no, it wasn't Cliff. Was it the Salvo con? Was it the Sal one? Oh no, here's what it was.
The children of Israel.
Yeah, this was one of my favorites. Matan had a heated debate versus Black Israelites and rabbis with Sal Volcano. Sal Volcano debated Black Israelites and a rabbi. Why are you purple, bro? You got a problem? Why aren't you purple? Shh. You're just like Ethan, aren't you? Hating on purple people. We ain't doing that. We are doing that all day. All day and all night. I've been doing this since before he started hating. This just been my vibe. But the comedians that I think have done best are like, surprisingly, one person that did really good Vanos Gaming, Evan Fong did really good. And the whole thing is you just have to lean into it with him. Like when he goes edgy, you can go a little bit edgy because they know that it's just like this podcast is basically just a shit post. There's nothing actually going on this podcast. There's no purpose to it. He just pays people to come on because it's funny and it'll get views.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. For today's guest, we have Vanos Gaming. Please welcome in. How's it going? Nice to see you. For today's co-host, we have my manager, Vara Flooring. Welcome in, Vara Flooring.
What up, man? Are those real hundreds? What up?
How's it going? So just in case anybody doesn't know you, please introduce yourself and all that one.
I'm Evan, or Vanos Gaming. I post YouTube videos. I make a living from posting GTA 5 videos, Black Ops 3 Zombies videos, and Uno.
And you still make videos, obviously.
Yeah.
Me and a lot of other people, maybe we used to watch you when we were a little bit younger.
Yeah, I get that a lot. It's like, oh, I used to watch your channel. You know, it's not like
I wasn't saying that as an insult.
No, but I get it. Like, my fans have grew up.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of dope now. Like, I bought a few new guns at a gun store, and like all of the employees knew who I was.
Your fans?
No, just to like shoot up a school, maybe if I get angry one day.
But that would be where you find your fans.
Like, it's a fucking insane response, but I think that is the only type of response you can give Matan. Like, it's like the only way out of it is to just double down. But Vanos did good. Non-comedian UFC fighter Peyton Talbot actually did pretty good too. This is Frank Ocean's boyfriend, for those who don't know. Remember what Frank Ocean said? My guy pretty like a girl, and he got fight stories to tell. See both sides like Chanel, seeing both sides like Chanel. Banger.
I wasn't implying anything like that. I was just asking if you would take a fall for $300, for over $300.
No, I wouldn't.
Wow, he has quicker reflexes than you. You're a fighter, and he's like 200 pounds.
We got an hour though. We got an hour.
You got to out-edge him. It's an edge-off with Matan. That's what you've always got to remember. But this Gideon one just starts insane, so I wanted to just start this off. Have we started yet? No. Okay. Just got to double check.
Guest, we have Gideon. Welcome in. Thanks for coming. For today's co-host, we have Mike. Welcome in, Mike.
Oh, we hit 1,300? Let's go! We hit 1,300 subbies. Let's go! 1,300. Big ups, all of you. All of you, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It means the world to me. Truly. We had a big jump because of my new video. I've been posting some shorts of that. If you like adult animation, go check it out.
So can you pull your mic close to you and then introduce yourself?
Of course.
And all that one for those who might not know you.
What's good, y'all? My name is
The problem is Ethan would go on here and out-edge Matan. He'd out-edgy Matan. But it might go a crazy place if he's unsupervised. If it was Ethan there by himself, no Ela, no crew, nobody, I think that it would go off the rails pretty quickly.
aka DeMarcus Cousins III, and I'm just a black guy with a beard.
So your father, is that basketball player? Is that a joke, or how does that work?
No. So DeMarcus Cousins, that's my grandfather. So I'm DeMarcus Cousins III.
Okay.
He's the first, and then my dad's the second. Yeah.
I like that. It's a good distinction because I was a little bit confused. How can people tell the difference between you, Kai Cenat, LeBron James, and the rest of them?
Well, it's hard for me and LeBron James because we both have messed up hairlines. But you know, Kai Cenat, I think, you know, just the hair.
The hair?
I think that's really just.
What about the rest of them?
Like all the other, who's the rest of them?
You can infer from those three people what they have in common.
Harley already went on Matan. Harley outed himself for doing blackface when talking to Matan. Matan didn't even know that.
You can eliminate hairline because of Kai.
Tattoos? Like,
do you have any?
No, so that's why I'm
there
confused.
you go. That wouldn't work.
Man, I really don't know. Like I guess big personalities on the internet.
Black people. Sometimes it's confusing, not because I'm a racist, just because my eyesight isn't good, so people think I'm a racist because I'll get them confused now and then.
Really?
But a vast minority of the time, it actually is confusion.
Oh man, I would hate to have you with a lineup of black people, man. Someone in the instant will go to jail.
Well, I would just say they're all guilty because the odds are, even if they didn't commit that crime, they did another one.
Wait, Ethan's new IG story? What? Let me pull it up. Wait, are you talking about this one? Wait, which one are you talking about? Am I seeing something wrong? I think he's saying we're going live. Did we go live? Not yet. 9 minutes ago. What a liar. Huge legal win. We are going live. Oh, he has said we are going live. His new IG story. Am I looking at something wrong here? This was 9 minutes ago. This is the title. We saw it. Are you behind? I don't know. Google it. Fair enough. Fair enough. I want to see Matan and Ethan interact. I don't care who goes on whose show. I enjoy both. Posted on the toilet, by the way. Definitely. He's still in there too. 9 minutes ago. Hasn't been enough time. Here, I'm going to pull up the Harley episode real quick too while we're waiting.
Dang, controversial. Yeah.
And what do you think?
What do I think?
What would you do if you were in that position?
Well, definitely. I mean, if I was in that position, I would report the right guy,
What if you saw a guy, he commits a crime, he steals food, very skinny guy, he steals just hot food from Walmart. They ask you to identify him. You know which guy it is, and then on the side of him is a gangster. You can tell he's a gangster because he's holding a gun in one hand and the two human heads in the other.
Oh,
who would you say is responsible?
Okay, so a dude that stole food or a gangster with two heads?
But they're asking you to identify the man.
That
who stole
sounds more.
food.
I mean, holding two heads. That sounds more cartel. Are we sure we got the?
No,
right
but he's
demographic?
black, not Mexican.
He's black. I mean, I don't know too many gangsters that are decapitating heads like that.
Well,
What about Big Lurch? Isn't that the guy who ate that woman? Right? Yep. He is serving a life sentence for murdering 21-year-old roommate Tanisha Yasis and eating parts of her body. I think didn't he decapitate her or something too? It does happen. That's all I'm saying. It isn't like a 0% chance. It does happen sometime.
Maybe he found them in the trash can.
Oh, I mean, if
from
he
a
found
cartel.
Okay, so then wouldn't he be innocent? Like,
let's assume he's guilty of killing them where he got their head. Maybe he thinks he's Mexican. I don't know what to tell you, but what would you do in that case? Would you identify the right guy?
Man, I think I would just have to ask myself, why am I in this situation? Why am I even in this lineup for a dude that stole food from a store? It's not like I worked there. Definitely.
Because they saw you on camera.
Oh, they saw me on camera.
So
but I
they
thought it
want
would be hard to tell who was who. So there was no other black people in the store?
Well, they end up getting like a commissioner so he can figure it out, like Adam Silver or something.
Ah, okay.
Because he clearly has to be good at it.
I mean, yeah, that would be pretty bad when most of
It does just go on like this for a while. Gideon does a pretty bad job, I've got to be honest. And it kind of just irritated me because of how he acts during like his predator catches, all of the jokes and kind of like stuff that he does. And it's like trying to play like the straight man or like, I don't know. It feels, it's more uncomfortable than had he just like kind of been a little more off the cuff. Holy man spreading. I know he's putting one leg underneath each table. I wonder if Matan sets it up like this on purpose. Because how do you sit here comfortably? Because otherwise your legs just have to be fully together. Just sitting right between. Feet completely touching. Did his balls come out? Are you talking about his shorts? I don't know. I didn't see.
NBA players are black. And you
That's
can't
why
tell
I'm
them
saying
apart.
he needs to be good at it.
Yeah, no.
Now I'm noticing everything down here. Why is Matan sitting like this? This is just a very interesting way of sitting. Ironically, I'm kind of sitting the same way right now, I'm realizing. But look at this guy right here. Feet firmly planted. He's ready to go. But here's Harley Morenstein. This one was much better. Harley actually did a pretty good job too.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. For today's guest, we have Harley Morenstein. As usual, we have Mike as the co-host. Welcome in, Mike.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Welcome in, Mike. So,
Should I move this here? Are you good? Like-
yeah, you could just pull the mic close to your mouth if you want.
Okay.
So real quick, if you just want to introduce yourself, tell everybody a little bit about all that one.
Yeah. My name's Harley. I
Oh,
do
sorry,
YouTube
you were doing the Dan. Did your balls come out? Did your balls come out? Maybe. Even if they did, you wouldn't know.
videos, a food cooking channel. But you know what? Like, your dad loved my channel in 2013 for sure.
So
You probably got a cool uncle that was a big Epic Mealtime fan. I think this is the most replayed part. This is probably it, yeah.
I got a bald cap.
Yep, he's
and
already explaining it. Sorry, went a little too far ahead.
Nightmare day. It was a bad day.
Bad day?
was
So
a
you don't
bad
remember
day.
it fondly?
I don't have
Oh,
fond
you know what?
memories of
Actually,
it.
this is kind of similar to the last question. For an epic mealtime, would you consider switching it up and putting black paint all over your face?
I wouldn't do that.
Why not?
Do you know that I did that already?
Oh, you did that?
Oh, I thought you did research and you were bringing up my blackface moment.
You did blackface.
To be honest with you, I didn't, because I didn't know.
That's not how that works.
Way back in the day, we're talking like 20 years ago. I went
20
to
years ago, so
Yeah.
before YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, if it happened during YouTube, you think I'd be here right now? I'd
Well,
be
how old
canceled
are
a long
you?
time ago.
I just realized he's rocking a Hatsune Miku shirt too.
I thought you were like 30 or something.
You thought I was 30?
Yeah, like 35.
Yeah, like 35, 38.
39, 30,
Yeah.
40,
Yeah,
40.
38, 39. I feel like I've been 40 for 10 years now.
So you're 40 now?
I'm not 40 now.
Oh, you're 50?
I'm in my 30s, but I feel like I've been 40 for like 5 years.
He said he was 38, so he's pushing it.
Okay.
When I'm 40, I'm basically 50, I feel like.
But you were saying, what? But you did.
Fucking did.
What about the blackface? So why did you do it in the first place? Well, how did you do it?
Well, I went to a Halloween contest party in Canada. And at the time, there was this thing on Facebook that it was like, what celebrity do you look the most like? And I had put up a picture of me, and it said that I looked the most like Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh.
So I thought, oh, that'd be such a good Halloween costume. So I
It's so fucking stupid. Okay, but yeah, that was just a little showcase of Matan if you guys haven't seen him before. I would love to see Ethan go on there, but I know it would go off the rails very quickly. But I do really appreciate everybody for stopping in. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I'll see you back again then. Yes. That's all I had to say. So thank you so much. This is Captain Quasar, signing off.